I trusted my wife with my life. Literally trusted her with the pills she gave me every night, the medication that was supposed to keep my heart beating strong after the attack that nearly killed me 3 months ago. But when I woke up at 2 a.m. and heard the safe in my study clicking open, I realized something that made my blood run cold. My wife wasn't trying to save my life. She was counting down the days until she could end it. Before we continue, please tell us where you're watching from so we know how far our stories reach, and subscribe to the channel to help us grow. Let me take you back to where this nightmare really started. 4 months before, I caught Vanessa and Dante with their hands in my safe. 4 months before I understood that the woman sleeping next to me every night was planning my funeral. It was a Tuesday morning in March when my chest seized up. I was grading papers in my home office. Been teaching Black American literature at the university for 32 years. Was 3 years into retirement, still taking on adjunct work because I loved it. The pain hit me like a freight train, sharp, crushing, like someone wrapped steel bands around my ribs and kept twisting. Vanessa found me on the floor, called 911, rode with me to the hospital, held my hand while the doctors told me I was lucky to be alive. Triple bypass surgery, 6 weeks of recovery, pills, so many pills. She was perfect during those first weeks, everything a wife should be. Brought me water before I asked, made sure I took every medication on schedule, set up my pill organizer every Sunday night with the whole week laid out. Even learned to cook the low-sodium meals my cardiologist recommended. No more of Mama's pot roast recipe I loved. No more peach cobbler on Sundays. "Baby, I almost lost you," she'd say, kissing my forehead. "I'm not taking any chances." I believed her. God help me, I believed every word. Dante moved in 2 weeks after I got home from the hospital, said he got laid off from his job at the warehouse, needed a place to crash until he got back on his feet. I didn't love the idea, but Vanessa pushed hard. "He's my son, Jerome, your stepson. We're family." Family. That word meant something to me. I'd been married to Vanessa for 5 years, known Dante since he was 23. Never caused much trouble, but never seemed to get his life together either. Always another failed job, another scheme that didn't pan out. Another reason he needed money, but I said yes, because that's what you do for family. He took the guest room on the second floor, right across from my study, the study where I kept my safe, the safe that held the deed to this condo, this 3-bedroom condo in a historic district that had tripled in value since I bought it in 1995, worth close to $800,000 now. My nest egg. My legacy for Kendra. Kendra, my daughter from my first marriage, 22 years old and in her senior year at Howard University, smart as a whip, studying law. She'd always been cautious about Vanessa, never warmed up to her the way I'd hoped. "Daddy, I just don't trust her," Kendra had said before the wedding. "Something about her doesn't sit right." I'd brushed it off as jealousy, a daughter protective of her father. I was 57 when I married Vanessa. She was 47. Both of us had been alone for years. My first wife, Kendra's mother, passed from cancer when Kendra was 10. I'd spent over a decade building my career, raising my daughter, keeping my head above water. Vanessa seemed like a second chance at happiness. I was wrong. The first weird thing happened about 6 weeks after my surgery. I was getting stronger, walking 30 minutes every morning like the doctor ordered, feeling more like myself. The medication was working. My heart was healing. Then I started sleeping deeper, heavier, the kind of sleep where you wake up confused about what day it is, what year it is. I'd sleep for 12, sometimes 14 hours straight, wake up groggy, fuzzy-headed, like I was moving through syrup. "It's the medication, baby," Vanessa explained. "Your body's still healing. You need the rest." Made sense, or at least I thought it did. The second weird thing was Dante's sudden interest in my study. He'd knock on my door in the afternoons, ask about my book collection, comment on the view from my window, linger near my desk, near the painting on the wall, the painting that hid my safe. "Uncle Jerome, you got quite a collection here," he'd say, running his fingers along the spines of my first editions. "Worth a lot, I bet." Uncle Jerome. He'd never called me that before. But that wasn't even the worst part. The third weird thing was the conversations I'd hear late at night, muffled voices from downstairs, Vanessa and Dante talking in the kitchen after they thought I was asleep. I couldn't make out the words, just the tone, urgent, secretive. The kind of whispers that stop the second they hear a floorboard creak. I started pretending to sleep, lying in bed with my eyes closed, listening, waiting. That's when I heard Vanessa on the phone one night. Must have been around midnight. I'd gone to bed at 10 like always, taken my pills. But something in my gut told me to stay alert, fight the drowsiness. 6 more weeks, she whispered into her cell. Maybe less. His heart's weak. One bad night and it's over. My blood went cold. The deed's in the safe, she continued. Dante knows the combination. Once he's gone, we move fast, get the property on the market before the daughter shows up asking questions. I held my breath. Didn't move. Didn't make a sound. She was quiet for a moment, listening to whoever was on the other end. No, he trusts me completely. Takes whatever pills I give him, doesn't even check the bottles anymore. That's when everything clicked into place. The deep sleep, the grogginess, the way she was always so careful about setting up my pill organizer herself. Never letting me do it. She was drugging me, increasing the dose, waiting for my heart to give out so she could sell my condo and disappear with the money, and Dante was in on it. I wanted to jump out of bed, confront her right there. But something stopped me. Maybe it was the professor in me, the man who spent 3 decades teaching students to think critically, to gather evidence, to build an airtight case before making accusations. Or maybe it was fear, pure fear that if I showed my hand too early, they'd find another way, a faster way. So I lay there, perfectly still, and I started planning. The next morning, I acted normal. Came downstairs for breakfast, let Vanessa fuss over me, took the pills she handed me with a glass of orange juice, but I didn't swallow them. I tucked them under my tongue, waited until she left the kitchen, spit them into a napkin, wrapped them up, hid them in my pocket. I did this every morning for 3 days, collecting evidence, feeling my head clear up, feeling my energy return. On the 4th day, I called Kendra. "Baby girl, I need you to come home this weekend," I said, keeping my voice low. "Don't tell Vanessa, just come." "Daddy, what's wrong? Are you okay?" "I will be, but I need your help with something serious." There was a pause. Then, "I'll be there Friday night." That Friday evening, Kendra showed up at 7. Vanessa wasn't happy about the surprise visit, but she covered it well. Put on her stepmother's smile, set an extra plate for dinner. After we ate, I asked Kendra to help me with some papers in my study, closed the door, locked it. "Daddy, you're scaring me," she said. I pulled out the napkins from my desk drawer, unfolded them, showed her the pills I'd been collecting. "I need you to get these tested," I said. "I think Vanessa's been poisoning me." Kendra's eyes went wide. "What?" I told her everything. The phone call, the conversation about my death, the plan to sell the condo. She wanted to call the police right then. I stopped her. "Not yet. We need proof, real proof, these pills, a recording, something that'll stick." "Daddy, if she's trying to kill you, then we do this smart. We make sure she can't wiggle out of it. Can't claim it was a misunderstanding. We catch her in the act." Kendra didn't like it. I could see the fear in her eyes, but she trusted me. Took the pills, said she'd get them to a pharmacy tech she knew from school, someone who could run an analysis. That night, after Kendra left, I took the pills Vanessa gave me. Let them dissolve under my tongue, spit them out later. Pretended to fall into my usual deep sleep. And I waited, listening. At 1:47 a.m., I heard it. Footsteps on the stairs, 2 sets, moving quietly, heading toward my study. I cracked my bedroom door open just enough to see Vanessa, Dante, slipping into my study like thieves in the night. I moved into the hallway, silent, stayed in the shadows. The study door was open a sliver. I could see them inside. Dante was standing in front of the painting, moving it aside, revealing the safe behind it. "You sure he's out?" Dante whispered. "He's out," Vanessa said. "Gave him a double dose tonight. He won't wake up until noon tomorrow." My heart pounded, but not from weakness, from rage. Dante started working the combination. I heard the clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4. The safe door swung open. That's when I stepped into the doorway. "Looking for something?" They froze. Both of them. Vanessa's hand was still on the safe door. Dante's face went from focused to terrified in half a second. The look in their eyes told me everything I needed to know. Guilt. Pure guilt. "Jerome," Vanessa's voice came out shaky. "Baby, what are you doing up?" I could ask you the same thing. I stepped into the study. Kept my voice calm. Steady. "It's 2 in the morning. And you're in my safe. Dante pulled his hand back like the metal had burned him. Uncle Jerome, this isn't... Don't. I held up my hand. Don't insult my intelligence. I taught critical thinking for 32 years. I know exactly what this is. Vanessa recovered faster than I expected. She always was quick on her feet. That's probably how she fooled me for 5 years. Honey, you're confused, she said, moving toward me with that concerned wife expression. Your medication. You're probably having side effects, confusion, paranoia. It's common with heart patients. Is it? I stayed where I was, didn't let her close the distance. Is it also common for heart patients to overhear their wives planning their deaths on the phone? Her face went pale. Yeah, I continued. I heard you. 6 more weeks, maybe less. His heart's weak. 1 bad night and it's over. Ring any bells? Dante moved toward the door. I blocked his path. Sit down, I said. Both of you. There's something about a man who's been disrespected in his own home. Something that rises up. Even a man recovering from a heart attack. Even a man who's supposed to be weak. I wasn't weak. Not anymore. They sat. Vanessa on the leather couch, Dante in the reading chair by the window. Here's what's going to happen, I said. You're going to tell me the truth, all of it, and then you're going to pack your bags and get out of my house. Or what? Dante's voice had an edge now. The fear was turning into something else. Anger, defensiveness. You going to call the cops? Tell them what? That we opened a safe? That's not a crime. No, but attempted murder is. Vanessa laughed. Actually laughed. Murder? Jerome, you've lost your mind. I've been taking care of you. Nursing you back to health. With pills that aren't what you say they are. That shut her up. I've been collecting them, I said. Every morning for the past week. Saved every pill you gave me. My daughter's getting them tested right now. Should have results by Monday. The color drained from Vanessa's face completely now. Dante stood up, sat back down, stood up again. You don't know what you're talking about, Vanessa said, but her voice had lost its confidence. Then prove me wrong. Show me the prescription bottles. Show me that what you've been giving me matches what the doctor prescribed. Silence. That's what I thought. But I had made a mistake, shown too much of my hand too soon. I saw it in Vanessa's eyes, the shift, the calculation. She was already thinking 3 steps ahead. Fine, she said quietly. You want us gone? We'll go, first thing in the morning. Too easy. She was giving up too easy. That's when I realized. They still thought they had time, still thought I was weak, still thought they could find another way. I needed to be smarter about this. Actually, I said, changing tactics, maybe we don't need to be hasty. Maybe we can talk about this like adults. Vanessa's eyes narrowed, suspicious. I'm tired, I continued, putting my hand to my chest, playing up the weakness. This confrontation, it's a lot for my heart. Let's sleep on it. Talk in the morning when we're all thinking clearly. I watched Dante relax slightly. Watched Vanessa's posture shift. Okay, she said slowly. Okay, baby. That's good. That's smart. You need to rest. I left them in the study, went back to my bedroom, locked the door, and immediately called Kendra. Daddy, it's 2:30 in the morning. I know, listen to me carefully. Those pills I gave you, I need the results now. Tomorrow, first thing. The lab won't be open until, I don't care. Call your friend. Wake her up if you have to. I need to know what's in those pills by tomorrow afternoon. What happened? I caught them. At the safe. They know I'm onto them. I heard Kendra's sharp intake of breath. Daddy, get out of that house, right now. Come stay with me. No, if I run, they run. I need them to think they still have a chance. This is crazy. This is dangerous. This is necessary. Just get me those test results. She was quiet for a moment. Then, okay, I'll have them by 3 p.m. tomorrow. But Daddy, please be careful. I will. I love you, baby girl. I love you too. I hung up, checked the lock on my door twice, pushed my dresser in front of it for good measure. Then I sat on my bed and tried to think. What I said was bad enough, but what I didn't tell Kendra was worse. The look in Dante's eyes when I blocked the door. That wasn't just fear. That was desperation. And desperate people do desperate things. I didn't sleep that night. Sat up listening. waiting for footsteps, for my door to rattle, for something. Nothing came. When morning light finally crept through my curtains, I heard movement downstairs, normal sounds, coffee brewing, cabinets opening and closing. I moved the dresser, unlocked the door, went downstairs. Vanessa was in the kitchen making breakfast, eggs, turkey bacon, the low-sodium kind. She looked up when I entered, smiled. "Good morning, baby. How'd you sleep?" Like we hadn't had a confrontation 6 hours ago, like I hadn't caught her trying to rob me, like she wasn't planning my death. "Fine," I said, playing along. "You?" "Good. Real good," she set a plate in front of me. "I've been thinking about last night, about what you said. And you're right. Dante and I shouldn't have been in your study without permission. That was wrong. We were just worried about you. Wanted to make sure all your important papers were in order in case..." She trailed off. "In case something happened." Lies. Smooth lies. "I understand," I said. She handed me my morning pills. I looked down at them. 5 pills, same as always, same colors, same shapes. I picked them up, put them in my mouth, took a sip of orange juice. She watched me swallow, smiled, turned back to the stove. I kept the pills under my tongue, waited until she wasn't looking, spit them into my napkin. Kendra called at 3:15 p.m. I was in my bedroom, door locked. "Daddy, I got the results." "And?" "2 of the pills are correct. Your blood pressure medication and the blood thinner. But the other 3... She paused. "The other 3 are sedatives, heavy ones, triazolam, the kind they give people for severe insomnia. You've been taking 3 times the normal dose every day." My hands started shaking, not from fear, from rage. "That's not even the worst part," Kendra continued. "My friend said, combined with your heart medication, this dose could cause respiratory depression, cardiac arrest. Daddy, she's been slowly killing you." There it was. Proof. "Can your friend document this? Write it up officially?" "Already done. I'm bringing the report to you tonight." "No, not here. Meet me at Deacon Harris's house at 7. You remember where he lives?" Deacon Harris, my mentor from church, retired attorney, sharp as they come at 75 years old. "Yeah, I remember. Daddy, what are you planning?" "Justice. I'm planning justice." That evening, I told Vanessa I was going to Bible study. She didn't question it, probably relieved to have me out of the house. I drove to Deacon Harris's place in College Park. Kendra was already there. So was Deacon Harris, sitting in his favorite armchair, reading glasses perched on his nose. "Jerome Mitchell," he said when I walked in. "Kendra's been telling me quite a story." "It's all true." I handed him the pills I'd collected, the lab report. Every word. He read through the documentation slowly, carefully. When he looked up, his eyes were hard. "This is attempted murder. No question." "I know, but I need more than pills and a lab report. I need them caught in the act. I need witnesses. I need something that'll stick so tight they can't lawyer their way out of it." Deacon Harris leaned back in his chair. "What are you thinking?" "They want my condo. They've got plans to sell it the moment I'm dead, so let's give them what they want." Kendra looked at me like I'd lost my mind. "Daddy, no. Let's make them think I'm dying, really dying. Let them bring buyers to the house. Let them show the property. And when they do, we make sure the right people are watching." Deacon Harris smiled slowly. "You want to set a trap?" "Exactly. That's dangerous, Jerome. If they think you're actually dying, they might speed up the process. Finish what they started. Then we work fast. We do it this week." Over the next 2 hours, we planned it out, every detail, every contingency. Deacon Harris made some calls, reached out to Rodney Freeman, a legal investigator he'd worked with for years, explained the situation. Rodney was in, said he could bring another witness, someone who could pose as a buyer's attorney. "How do we get them to take the bait?" Kendra asked. "I'll give Vanessa what she wants," I said. "I'll get weaker, more tired. I'll take the pills she gives me, let her think it's working, and when I'm bad enough, she'll make her move." "This is insane," Kendra whispered. Maybe it was. But it was also the only way to make sure Vanessa and Dante paid for what they'd done, for what they tried to do. I went home that night with a plan. A dangerous plan. But a plan nonetheless. When I walked through the door, Vanessa was waiting. She had that look again. The concerned wife look. "Baby, you don't look good. You're pale. Are you feeling okay?" Tired, I said. Really tired. The drive wore me out. She helped me to the couch, brought me water, brought me my evening pills. I took them. Didn't hide them this time. Let them start to dissolve under my tongue. Let my eyes droop. Let my speech slur slightly. Jerome, baby, you're scaring me. I spit the dissolved pills into my hand when she turned away, wiped them on the couch cushion. Just need to sleep, I mumbled. She helped me upstairs, helped me into bed. I heard her whisper to Dante in the hallway. It's happening faster than I thought. How much longer? Days, maybe a week. I heard her make a phone call from the guest room. Heard her say the words that made my blood run cold. Schedule the showing for Thursday. Tell them the owner is incapacitated. Medical emergency. We need to move fast. Thursday. That was 3 days from now. 3 days to execute the plan. 3 days to catch them in the act. 3 days to make sure they never hurt anyone again. I reached for my phone, texted Kendra one word. Thursday. She replied immediately. Ready. So was I. Thursday morning came too fast and too slow at the same time. I'd spent 3 days pretending to decline, getting weaker, more confused, slurring my words, shuffling when I walked. Vanessa ate it up, played the concerned wife perfectly, called my doctor's office twice, left messages about my sudden deterioration. What she didn't know was that Deacon Harris had already called that same doctor to explain the situation, got him on our side. By Wednesday night, I was supposed to be barely conscious. I stayed in bed all day. Let Vanessa bring me soup I didn't eat, pills I tucked under my tongue, water I poured into the plant by my nightstand when she wasn't looking. Baby, I'm worried, she said, sitting on the edge of my bed. Maybe we should take you to the hospital. No hospital, I mumbled, made my voice weak, raspy. Just tired. So tired. She stroked my forehead. The tenderness in her touch would have fooled anyone who didn't know the truth. Okay, baby, you rest. I'll take care of everything. That's exactly what I was afraid of. That night, I heard her on the phone again. The walls in this condo were thick, but not thick enough. Tomorrow at 2, she said. Yes, he'll be in the bedroom, unconscious. No, he won't be a problem. We have medical documentation of his decline. The power of attorney is ready. We can close in a week. Power of attorney. That was new. I never signed any power of attorney. I texted Kendra. She forged POA, added to the list. Kendra. Rodney says that's felony fraud. We got her. But we didn't have her yet. Not until she committed the act. Not until witnesses saw it happen. Thursday morning, I didn't come downstairs. Stayed in bed. Kept my eyes closed when Vanessa checked on me at 9, at 11, at 1. At 1:45, I heard the doorbell. My bedroom door was cracked open. I could hear everything. Mr. Freeman, Mrs. Reynolds, thank you for coming. Vanessa's voice was smooth, professional. I apologize for the unusual circumstances. We understand, a man's voice said. That was Rodney. These medical situations require swift action. Exactly. My husband had a severe heart attack 3 months ago. His condition has deteriorated rapidly this week. The doctors say it's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. She said it so casually, like she wasn't the reason. And you have power of attorney? A woman's voice, Octavia Reynolds. Yes, right here. Everything's in order. He signed it last month when he was still lucid. Lies. All lies. May we see the property? Rodney asked. Of course. Let me give you the tour. I heard them move through the condo, Vanessa pointing out the original hardwood floors, the updated kitchen, the view from the balcony, playing real estate agent while her husband supposedly lay dying upstairs. Dante joined them. I heard his voice mixing with Vanessa's, both of them laughing, comfortable, like they'd already won. The master bedroom is upstairs, Vanessa said, but my husband is resting there, so perhaps… Actually, Rodney interrupted, we'd like to see all the rooms. For a property this valuable, we need a complete assessment. There was a pause. I could almost hear Vanessa's brain working. Of course, but please, he's very weak. We need to be quiet. Footsteps on the stairs, coming closer. My bedroom door opened wider. I kept my eyes closed, kept my breathing shallow, played the part. This is the master suite, Vanessa whispered. As you can see, it's spacious. The bathroom was renovated 2 years ago. I felt them enter the room, felt their eyes on me. Is he… Octavia's voice. Unconscious, Vanessa said. Has been since this morning. The medication keeps him comfortable. The medication she'd been poisoning me with. I see. Rodney's voice was closer now, right beside the bed. And you're certain about the timeline? The doctor said any day now. Could be hours, could be a few days. But we need to move quickly once it happens. Estate proceedings can be complicated. Indeed they can. Rodney's voice changed, became harder. Official. Mrs. Mitchell, would you and your son please step into the hallway? What? Why? Because I'm not a buyer. I'm a legal investigator. And this is Mrs. Reynolds, an attorney and witness. We're here to document your attempted real estate fraud and conspiracy to commit murder. The room went silent. Then chaos. What? Vanessa's voice went shrill. This is insane. I don't know what... We have recordings, Octavia said calmly. Of your phone conversations, of your plans to sell this property while your husband is still alive, of your discussions about his impending death. That's not... Jerome is dying. The doctor said no such thing. Deacon Harris's voice came from the doorway. I hadn't even heard him come in. In fact, I spoke with Dr. Williams yesterday. He confirmed that Jerome's prognosis is excellent as long as he takes the correct medication. I opened my eyes. Sat up in bed. Vanessa's face went white. Dante backed toward the door. Hey there, wife, I said. My voice was strong now, clear. Surprise. I'm not dying after all. Jerome. Her mouth opened and closed. No words came out. Kendra appeared in the doorway behind Deacon Harris. She walked to my bedside, handed Rodney a folder. The lab analysis, she said. Proof that Mrs. Mitchell has been administering sedatives disguised as heart medication, enough to cause respiratory depression and cardiac arrest. Rodney opened the folder, scanned the documents, looked at Vanessa with disgust. Vanessa Mitchell, Dante Williams, you're both under citizen's arrest pending police arrival, which should be... He checked his watch. Any minute now. As if on cue, I heard sirens in the distance. Vanessa lunged toward me. Dante grabbed her arm, held her back. You don't understand, she screamed. He was going to waste it all. Leave it all to her. She pointed at Kendra. I deserve that money. I earned it. 5 years of playing nurse to an old man. I'm 67, I said quietly. Not exactly ancient. You might as well be. You and your books, your lectures about integrity and morality. You made me sick. But that wasn't even the worst part. This wasn't your first time, was it? Rodney's voice cut through her rage. Vanessa stopped, went still. What? I looked at Rodney. He pulled out another document. While investigating, I found a death certificate. Harold Pemberton died of heart failure in Atlanta, Georgia in 2014. He was 63, married to Vanessa Williams for 3 years, left her his house and his pension. Sound familiar? The room tilted. I grabbed the bedpost. You killed before, I whispered. Vanessa's face hardened. Harold was weak. He was dying anyway. I just helped things along. Kendra's hand flew to her mouth. Deacon Harris shook his head slowly. And you would have done the same to me. Yes. Vanessa's voice was cold now, flat. The mask was completely off. And I would have gotten away with it if you hadn't been so paranoid. Dante suddenly spoke up. His voice was shaking. I didn't know about Harold. I swear I didn't know. We all turned to look at him. She told me you were sick anyway, he continued, that the pills were just making you comfortable, that we were doing you a favor. I didn't know she was... His voice broke. I didn't know she'd done this before. Shut up, Dante, Vanessa hissed. No. He was crying now. I'm not going down for murder. I opened a safe. I listened to her plans, but I didn't give him the pills. I didn't kill anyone. You were going to let me die, I said. I know. And that makes me guilty of something, but not murder. She's the murderer. She's always been the murderer. The sirens were close now, right outside. Vanessa's legs seemed to give out. She sat on the floor, didn't fight when Rodney and Deacon Harris positioned themselves between her and the door. The police came in, took statements, arrested Vanessa and Dante both, led them out in handcuffs. Vanessa didn't look at me as they took her away. Dante did, mouthed the words, I'm sorry. I didn't acknowledge it. When the house finally emptied, It was just me, Kendra, and Deacon Harris. "You did it, Daddy," Kendra said, hugging me tight. "You caught her." "Yeah." I sat back on the bed, suddenly exhausted. "Yeah, I did." That's when the room started spinning. My chest tightened, real tightness this time, not acting. "Daddy?" "I'm okay, just the stress, it's catching up." But it wasn't just stress. The doctors confirmed it 2 hours later at the hospital. The combination of actual stress, the sedative still in my system, and the emotional trauma had triggered arrhythmia, irregular heartbeat. Nothing life-threatening, but enough to require medication adjustment and monitoring. Ironic. I'd faked being sick to catch Vanessa, and in the process, I'd actually made myself sick. They kept me overnight for observation. Kendra stayed in the chair beside my bed. "You scared me," she said quietly. "I scared myself." Was it worth it? I thought about that. Vanessa was in jail, facing charges for Harold's death and attempted murder in my case. Dante was charged as an accessory. The DA said the evidence was solid. They wouldn't see freedom for decades. But I'd also lost 5 years of my life to a lie, lost my ability to trust, lost my peace in my own home. "Ask me in a year," I finally said. 3 months later, Vanessa pled guilty, 25 years to life. They exhumed Harold Pemberton's body, found traces of the same sedatives. She'd done it before, would have kept doing it. Dante took a plea deal, 7 years, testified against his mother. I sold the condo, couldn't live there anymore. Too many ghosts, too many memories of pills and betrayal and nights spent listening for footsteps. Bought a smaller place closer to Kendra. She graduated from Howard, started law school, comes by every Sunday for dinner. We don't talk about Vanessa much, don't need to. But sometimes, late at night, I still check my pill bottles, still read the labels twice. Still remember what it felt like to trust someone with my life and have them try to end it. My heart's stronger now. The doctors say I'm doing well, but there's another kind of damage that doesn't show up on EKGs, the kind that makes you question every kindness, every gesture of care. I'm working on that, slowly. Deacon Harris says trust is like a bone. It can heal, but it's never quite the same. He's probably right. But I'm alive. I caught the woman who tried to kill me, saved the next man she might have targeted, and some nights, when I'm organizing my pill case myself, checking each medication against the prescription, making absolutely sure, I think that's enough. It has to be. Thanks for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please leave a like and subscribe. Have you experienced something similar? Share your story in the comments below.